Hey, aloha and mahalo. Welcome back to another exciting, head-scratching episode of Insane Disappearances. I hope you guys enjoyed the interview that I conducted a while ago. Today, actually. Like I said, I'm going to be switching gears every once in a while. I will still do 90% of the videos that I upload will be about people who disappear in national parks mysteriously. But every once in a while, if I get an opportunity to interview someone from my channel that has a tale to tell, especially if it's a very strange one or a very compelling one, like the guy I interviewed a couple of weeks ago, Matthew Choder, and then now the man I interviewed this morning, Jason Mathis. That's what I'm going to do. Now, also, I always felt like I was, that I was meant to help people. And this is my way of doing that. So if there is a case about a person that disappeared, I would love to be a part of that, by posting something about it on my channel. Even if I just mention it, in one of my videos, but the main topic was about someone that disappeared in a national park. That's just me getting the word out there so that hopefully somebody will listen to it or hear it, and then hopefully that person will have some information about that person who disappeared. That way the families can find them and all will be well. So that's that's what's going on right now. I'm sorry about the flailing of the arms, just I get excited a lot. But the main thing is I am going to make sure that I stay on the straight and narrow with all these videos, But like I said, there's that part where I'm going to veer off a little bit just to kind of broaden the horizon of my channel and people's minds when it comes to these topics. I don't think that a person should, not do what they do without making sure that everybody gets a chance to, put the word out there, and voice what they got to say about these, topics. But today's story is going to be about a man who disappeared while hiking. This person actually was a chef at the White House. His name is Walter Sheib, and he was camping somewhere in Taos, New Mexico. Okay, now it says here, missing White House chef found dead on hiking trail. Whew, now that's crazy. Apparently this happened around 2015, so it wasn't too long ago. Now it says here, searchers have found the body of a former White House chef, who had been missing for more than a week after going hiking in the New Mexico mountains. Now, the body of 61-year-old Walter Sheib was found Sunday night near a hiking trail in mountains in the Taos area. The New Mexico. This is what the New Mexico State Police, was telling the media. Now the body. Okay. Now the State Patrol. The State Patrol. They put out a statement saying that the body was discovered off the immediate trail. Now, authorities did not provide a cause of death or any other details about the discovery, saying rescuers were still gathering information and more details would be released later. Now, Sheib was a White House chef, like I said before, for 11 years under President Bill Clinton and George W. Bush, and recently moved from Florida to Taos. Now, he reportedly went for a hike on June 13th in the mountains near the Taos Sky Valley. His girlfriend reported him missing the next day. Taos police found his vehicle Tuesday parked at the Yerba Canyon trailhead. The 4-mile trail follows a canyon bottom before climbing to 3,700 feet in elevation, according to the U.S. Forest Service website. Now, as the search progressed, the New Mexico State Police said they were exhausting all resources in the effort. The U.S. Air Force and the New Mexico National Guard assisted, but an air search was made difficult with the presence of high mountain peaks, deep canyons, and dense vegetation. The rough terrain has also made the ground search harder. The search Sunday included resources from the Civil Air Patrol, the National Guard, the State Police, and volunteers. Sheib, who graduated from New York's Culinary Institute of America in 1979 and later worked at Grand Hotel in Florida and West Virginia, became White House executive chef in April of 1994 when First Lady Hillary Clinton hired him. Cool. Now, he was in charge of a full-time staff of 5 and oversaw a part-time staff of 20. Sheib was known for refocusing the White House kitchen on distinctly American cuisine with seasonal ingredients and contemporary flavors. He was responsible for preparing everything from first family meals to formal state dinners. Cool. Now, last month, Sheib cooked a dinner for a cancer charity fundraiser at the hotel in Scranton, Pennsylvania. He told the Times Leader newspaper that preparing meals at the White House had required him to have a different outlook on food and cooking. When you're working at the White House, it's not a hotel or a restaurant, or a private club. It's a professional home. A personal home, Sheib said. Our goal wasn't just to cook food at the White House. It was to give the first family an island of normal and very, very crazy in a very crazy world. His creations were served to many world leaders, including Tony Blair, to make sure I can pronounce this right. I guess Jacques Chirac, Vincent Fox, Nelson Mandela, and Boris Yeltsin. Okay. Now Sheib left the White House in 2005. He became a food consultant and speaker, often entertaining guests and anecdotes from his time at the White House. He also appeared on the Food Network's Iron Chef America show in 2006. Wow, I'm surprised I didn't see that. Well, actually, I don't think I was into that kind of stuff back then anyway. Now, Sheib also wrote a book about his experiences entitled The White House Chef, 11 Years, 2 Presidents, 1 Kitchen. It was published in 2007. He also has been actively involved in Atlanta's City of Refuge, which provides services to homeless and abused residents. Okay, so he's had a full schedule in life, dealing with cooking. So that's really good. But yeah, that part where he somehow ends up dead, within a day in a national forest on a trail. That right there is really, really strange, because New Mexico has a lot of weird stuff that goes on, especially in Taos, because you got the Taos noises, where people have been known to hear a light hum that is so elongated and so it traverses a long, extended period of time, where you just constantly hear it like all the time. Like, I remember people were being interviewed about that, and this elderly woman was saying how she hears it in the morning, she hears it at night, she hears it like right now at the time when she's being interviewed. So it's like one of those hums that you only hear in your head, apparently. And there have been talks about people who have heard of the government, I guess, conducting some type of experiment on the people in that town. because they don't think it's some sort of they don't think it's like a natural occurrence that's coming from all around you. It has to be something that was created, for only them to hear, or like anybody that drives into that town, they probably would hear it. You would just have to, like, say if you're driving on the highway in Taos, New Mexico, and you just pull over to the side of the road and just kind of just sit there for a while and listen, just to even see if you heard it, and you just might hear it. Some people, I don't know if they did, but I would imagine some people would actually just travel to Taos, New Mexico on purpose just to hear that noise and actually validate what they're actually hearing. But that I know that has to be something that is very disturbing for most people, especially if it practically drives them nuts. They can't close their doors. They can't let their windows down. They can't plug up their ear. Well, I'm pretty sure if they could plug up their ears, they probably wouldn't hear it. But if it's some sort of neurological situation where they have a machine or a device that can make this noise happen to where you can only hear it inside of you, like say like a lot of times when your ears ring, over, like it just kind of happens out of nowhere, or maybe you probably heard a noise prior to that and it affected your hearing to where it just starts to ring like all the time, but it could be something that is conducted where it's directed towards the public and somehow it gets inside of their head and they hear it like constantly, like 24/7. So who knows? I've never been to Taos, New Mexico, so I don't really know. But yeah, the fact that you hear about that situation lets you know that something weird is going on in Taos, New Mexico. Now I think it's also in Taos, New Mexico where they see these lights that occur in the mountains, and it's like these balls of light. And there have been people that have tried to go into the mountains from, like, say, a field or whatever, and try to figure out what those lights are, because you see them pulsating, or they get closer and then they move away. I would have to actually look into that to make sure it actually happens in Taos, New Mexico. But I think it may be either Taos, Mexico, or another part of the or in another state. I'm not sure, but I'll look into that just to make sure that I got my facts straight. But yeah, very, very strange stuff, and that's a very, very crazy situation that happened to that man. I mean, to be in the mountains to hike, and then the day later, his girlfriend. It said in another post that his girlfriend reported him missing. Well, either that or I read it here, but she reported him missing. Now it says here that he went out for a hike on June 13th. He was reported missing, and I think they said that she reported him missing a day later, like the next day. So he went in for the hike that day, and then when they finally found him, they found his body dead, and obviously there hasn't been no information on his cause of death. So obviously it's one of those situations where they can't find the cause of death. So they probably, and then at the end they said that it was an accidental drowning. Okay, now it didn't say anything about him being found near a body of water. They just said they found him either on the trail or off the trail. Let me see. Let's see here, just to make sure I got that correct. Okay, it says that the body was discovered off the immediate trail. So it didn't say that he was found near a body of water, but he probably was. They just didn't mention that, because I'm pretty sure that if they found him near a body of water and they found his body, his lifeless body, which of course they couldn't find a cause of death, maybe he was found near a body of water, I would imagine. So they just didn't mention that part, because they I guess in another post about his death, they mentioned that they listed his death as a accidental drowning. So I would imagine they found him near a body of water, so but like I said, they didn't determine exactly what caused him to die until later, and they always seems to come up with that one accusation about his death. Cause of death would be accidental drowning or whatever else that they always come up with. So, that's just how they do. They come up with all these excuses because they can't seem to figure out why the man died or why any other person has died. So, but yeah, there's one thing I can say about a lot of these cases. When you spend all this time looking for the truth as to why these people disappeared, no matter how mysterious the facts may make it seem, when the truth comes out, some people may not be able to grasp the fact that the truth is something that is the truth about the person's death is something that goes way beyond human logic. So when you hear that is actually what happened, I would hope that people will accept that and go from there, because there are strange things that happen, on this planet, and a lot of them are about people who disappear. They seem to just vanish off the face of the earth. I know that there is an element of human, element of a human being involved with a person that disappeared, but there isn't too many humans that I know of that can make a person disappear in a way that you will never be found. They could probably, like I said in one of my last videos, they'll probably chop you up into many pieces and just throw you across the state, all across the country, or they'll cut you up in, like, your legs and your arms and all that stuff, and just spread it out, all over the country. Who knows? I mean, it's a possibility. I'm not saying that it has happened. I did hear that did happen. This was like years ago. I think back in the early 90s, maybe the late 80s. I'm not sure. Excuse me. But I did hear of someone actually doing that, so that they couldn't find the body. But of course, as usual with most people who commit those type of crimes, they did slip up, and it somehow the evidence was tracked back to that person, and they was arrested and put to justice. So, with that being said, the difference between those situations where people disappear in national parks and the people who actually commit a crime of murder and try to make the person disappear forever, nine times out of 10, they're gonna leave something behind, or something is gonna be left behind that will lead the evidence right back to them. And that happens a lot more than you are able to figure out why these people are disappearing. So if there's a weird element within the facts, then obviously you need a weird answer to answer to that, weird evidence or fact. That's my interpretation on the matter. So, guys, that's the end of this video. I wanted to make sure you guys got a chance to view a video about what I normally talk about. I told you I'm going to be switching gears every once in a while. If that opportunity comes up, I will take it, and I will have that interview. Or if I see something on the internet that may involve that type of topic, I will post that as well. But like I said, 90% of the time, I will post my usual videos about people who disappear in national parks. So I gotta go, guys. It's my last day, of my little time off for Labor Day. So I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy it as much as I can. So without further ado, you know how I do it at the end of every one of my videos. Aloha, mahalo, and ahui ho. Peace out, guys. Have a great day.